Hi everybody, Sanbonani. Welcome to Reality Buzz TV, where we talk about all things reality TV shows and all things reality TV show stars. We are back, you guys. We are catching up with the reviews on Reality Buzz. And if you want to know why I disappeared in December, what has been happening, check out the channel called Raising Siposetu. That's where I do more of like personal stuff. Anyway, you guys, I want to do episode 11. Before I talk about the reunion, I kind of feel like it's important to talk about episode 11 of Mnakwethu. What happened in this episode, because it is interesting, you guys. I have said this season of Mnakwethu Happily Ever After that I do feel like there is no need to bring back Qondanisa on the show, because I don't feel like his story is going anywhere. It's the same with Dolas, okay? But they have become the face of the show somehow. And it feels like the show wouldn't really do well without them. But at the same time, when you think about their storyline, it's like, where is it going? Okay. None of these men have gotten married ever since they did Umnagwetu. Okay. So the wives they had, they never got married to those wives. The wives they were asking to take, they never got married to those wives. The wives that they added after Umnagwetu episode, they never got married to those wives. We found out today on this episode that umamchunu akuzange kuze kwenziwe ngisho umembezo. I'm like, kanti umamchunu usuke ethini mayethi uganile? Like, I'm like, kanti what happened? Waqoma nje, and then or kwayokocelwa. Like, I don't understand, guys. I don't understand what happened. But there was never any umembezo. And they said ukuthi akacacanga. That is what her brother said on the show, umamchunu. Anyway, you guys, so at the beginning of this episode, remember the last time Usandiso took uNonjabulo noPhindile out. Okay, so Usandiso is trying to get the first and the second, who is supposed to be the third wife, to get. He's trying to get the two of them together so that bezojoyina. And it's not as good by joyina, because even though Phindile is saying yena akasmukeli isithembu, but she's not fighting as much. So I'm guessing that she's accepting the whole thing. Because, honey, if you're still in the relationship, then you are accepting the nonsense that is happening in the relationship. Let's be honest, okay? If he says he wants 5 wives and you say, I don't want you to take 5 wives, but you are still in the relationship, you might as well say you are okay with the 5 wives, okay? So Pindela is still there. So they had gone out and he had not told, the same way that he didn't tell Pindela that he was going to introduce Nonjabulo, the other meeting that they had. He also didn't tell Nonjabulo no Pindile that he was going to introduce Ucebile. Ucebile, who thought she was the second one, but on TV saw her man introducing someone else as the second wife. So Usandiso has 2 people that he has told, because they are going to be number 2, Nonjabulo no Ucebile. They both think they're going to be number 2. But I'm like, girls, it actually doesn't matter. The disrespect is equally distributed in this relationship. So whether you are number 1 or number 2 or number 3, it does not matter, okay? You are devalued as a woman either way, okay? You are equally disrespected, okay? The disrespect is the same for the mamkulu, for the middle, and for the last wife, okay? Wife, because none of them are really wives. None of them are really wives, okay? So I understand ukuthi balolalana ukuthi number 1, number 2, number 3, because kuyafana nje lapha kaSandiso, okay? Into engayindawo liyanda, okay? Then I like this scene, you guys, because we got to see umaka Qondanisa talking with uSithogo, uMamchunu, no Samantha, okay? Guys, I hate that this show is shot in Joburg. I hate it. I hate it ukuthi they even have to make arrangements for abantu abadala ukuthi basukele emakhaya and visit Joburg just so they can shoot some scenes. I don't get it. This is a show that they are supposed. In fact, in the last seasons, you remember when they went to ubani kambe lo nkosikazi wayedumile wayekhala kakhulu abantu baze bamdonate. I remember they even went to her home and whatever. Maybe it's because of that they don't do that, because there was backlash. But this is a show that should be shot emakhaya. So Togo no Qondanisa should go back home. If they want to see mom, they should go back home. Sibone the homestead. That's the nice thing about the show. Sibone the homestead. That environment yasemakhaya kushuthwe sibone around kuhlalwe phansi ocansini. That's the kind of show that this is supposed to be. I don't understand why we are shooting Mnakwethu a hostel. Okay. Hostel is just never pleasant to look at. Okay. Anyway, you guys. So Qondanisa's mom is in Joburg, a hostel or somewhere where Qondanisa lives. Okay. They couldn't even get her a bed and breakfast. Okay. For mommy to live at, just for the few days where she's shooting the show. I'm like, what kind of nonsense is this? Okay. So Mam Kunu no Samantha went by hostel. Even them were like, why did they not tell us to Mom was coming? Because Usogo, Usogo always acts like she's a property developer, what. She says she has places, she has houses, okay. I don't know. I'm starting not to believe Mam Kunu because we never see these houses, okay? So, but her point was she does have better places that she could have, put Umama in as a visitor. She even said, even though Samantha has a place, so even though Samantha could have been the one to host Umama, why is Umama at the hostel? But even the producers of the show, why is Mama at the hostel? Why is Mama at the hostel? Even Lona Lapayana go Moja Love or Siyacela on Moja Love, when they go to Durban for whatever reason, when they need to go to Durban, they get them the bed and breakfast. Okay, why couldn't they just get Umama at a bed and breakfast somewhere? Okay, but Umama use hostela. So they were having a conversation, you guys. I did like this scene, Number one, because I wasn't sure whether Usamantha even has a relationship with Abantu Baga Qondanisa, because we had never really been exposed to that. And I didn't even know that she had been got Qondanisa, because we didn't even have the experience of seeing the Lobola process for her. Remember, she was the one that was brought in on the original Mnakwethu to us to be the second wife. Qondanisa was asking Umamchunu to take Usamantha, and then the next we heard he had already paid Lobola. I'm asking no and a half, because sometimes these men will be saying Balobolile, and it's like half and como. It's like half a cow, and then we talk about saying Lobolile. So it was nice to see Samantha and Mamchun having a conversation with Mama. Listen, you guys, even when you know that your son is not good, okay? Even if you know your son is an AH, okay? You still want them to have a nice wife, okay? And I think Qondanisa really liked Mamchun, and I think even Usamantha, and even Usamantha said which they have a good relationship, but it's not as deep as Mamchun and Mom. So Mom was just trying to say which they must release everything that has happened so that they can work on their relationship with Qondanisa. Obviously, as bad as she might see within the dynamic is, she still wants Umamchunu to stay, which is unfair. But I understand her, because they have that relationship, the mother-in-law and Umamchunu, the mother-in-law and Usamantha, so she wants them to stay. Also, there are kids involved here. I understand her, okay? But mommy, nobody's going to stay with your son if they are sane. Okay, but if they can lose a little bit of their mind, maybe they can afford to stay with Qondanisa. But it was an emotional scene, you guys. I liked it because Mamchunu was saying, listen, I have nothing against my mother-in-law. I love her. I'm always going to love her, but I don't love her son anymore. So what am I supposed to do? And it's a sad situation because it's his fault that we are where we are right now, okay? And honestly, this scene also clarified for me that Umamchunu only got back to shooting with Qondanisa just for the show. Because remember, I was confused by the fact that she was on one podcast doing an interview saying she's already broken up with Qondanisa. But then when the show started, she started talking about, possibly getting back with Qondanisa. So I think she did that just for the show. She is not with Qondanisa, okay? This scene told me, Uguti, she's no longer with Qondanisa. Now, when Qondanisa brought to Samantha and Mamchunu to speak to their mom, and then went on to speak to his mom. They were supposed to speak to his mom, left them there. The next scene we saw of Qondanisa was him with another woman. There is now a Mangobo that is supposed to be number 25th or something, kumakhosikazi Qondanisa. So uMangobo, they were having a conversation about how he wants to introduce uMangobo to Umamchunu no Samantha. But I'm like, but you don't have Umamchunu no Samantha because Mamchunu and Samantha have said they are walking away from the relationship. So who are you going to introduce her to? I don't know, you guys. Listen, I don't know. It's like sometimes you feel like these women live in their own world where these things that we see now in these men they don't see, because guys, who watches TV and thinks yo ngaze ngiyamfuna uqondanisa, who watches TV and think ukuthi ay ngiyamfuna udulazi? But clearly there are people who are doing that because every season there's a new woman for each of these men. Okay, so there is a man Ngobo that he wants to introduce to Mamchunu and Samantha, who are no longer really with him according to what they are saying. Okay, then we also finally did get the meeting between Qondanisa's family and Mamchunu's brothers, but it was just one brother and some of them were just sisters. Okay, now this is why I said this is not a show to shoot in Joburg, because number one, those were not all of Mamchunu's brothers, and then number two, also even with Qondanisa, it felt like he just took some relatives that he has in Johannesburg. So the meeting just felt off. I feel like whatever they're talking about in this meeting, it doesn't matter, because I don't even feel like it's the people that should be there to talk about such issues. They should not be shooting the show in Joburg, because probably Mamchunu's brothers are back at home. Had it been arranged proper, or was they coming to shoot this scene back at home, they want a meeting between abantu bamchunu nabantu baka uqondiso wakuphi kambe, then it would have made a bit of sense. Okay, otherwise it just wasn't, it didn't make sense. Okay, Mamchunu in this meeting was talking as if they have already broken up, because even the brother was like, okay, sizokhuluma, but there are so many broken promises from Qondanisa. When they asked what broken promises, they said, number one, our sister is not married yet. Number two, there was never any member. So so all of the stress that Umamchunu is getting from Qondanisa, she's not even married to Qondanisa. Not in the sense of you understand what I'm saying? So it's like, so you are on a 25th wife, but the first one you haven't finished. Okay, Qondanisa. Now, you guys, the meeting didn't go so well, you guys. I think the only thing that I felt like was important that we got from here is to understand ukuthi even to this day uMamchunu umshado wakhe azange azawuqedela, azange kwembeswe, and also azange azacace, azange asine nje esicaweni. Remember, there was a time long ago where they looked like they were preparing for it. So remember, they even went beyofuna imvunulo, but that thing never happened. Okay, then we also did see uMamhlongo kaDulasi going with Samantha to see Ukobela Samantha, so that ezomhlolela. Guys, I've never seen such. Somebody comes and says, but the person is like, oh, ufuna kuhlolela manje noma another time. It's like, even now, and whatever. And then you start, I was like, there's not even, let's go to Endumbeni, or, you understand what I'm saying? So I felt like that woman was just saying some random things in general. He said, you must ask Qondanisa where your baby is. Qondanisa, that should not be used that way. Like a person lost a child, like had a miscarriage. You don't know for sure that Qondanisa did something for her to have a miscarriage. So you can't just be throwing that around, because she was saying Qondanisa took the baby and used it almost like Qondanisa uthwele ngaye, and the reason that uMamhlongo is not living with Qondanisa is because Qondanisa is using umuthi and umbophile somewhere. And now remember, it's not yet ukuhlolelwa, akamhloleli yet. Okay, they are still to arrange for that to happen. So akamhloleli yet she's already talking about Qondanisa used the baby, you must ask Qondanisa where the baby is and all of that. I just felt like what a useless scene this was, because how is this going to help uMamhlongo to heal from the miscarriage that she has had. If she goes and asks, Qondanisa is not going to say, yeah, yes, I used the child for moods. You understand what I'm saying? So, what a pointless thing for them to shoot, actually, I think they should have made arrangements for that woman to formally do whatever, uhlahlela ukwenzani for umamhlongo, otherwise they shouldn't have shot that scene. So I didn't like it. Okay, now you guys, another scene that we saw was uDulasi nomashozi bahleli lapha endlini yabo bachilile kumnandi, then umamhlongo shows up with Tapsil. Okay, I like how umamhlongo is moving, okay, because umamhlongo now understands what uDulasi unamanga. So umamhlongo heard from umashozi that umashezi noDulasi broke up. That is what uDulasi told umashozi. So umamhlongo went and spoke to Mashezi and asked her, did you break up with Dulas? Because Dulas says that you guys broke up. Mashezi says no. So Umamhlongo takes Mashezi to go and see Umashozi, not Dulas, and says, listen, you are saying they broke up. She is saying they haven't broke up. So what's happening? Qondanisa is like, Haike, we are breaking up now. But I'm like, but the question was, had you already broken up? Because that's what you said. So I guess Mamhlongo wanted Umashozi to see this one, the man next to her, is lying about breaking up with Mashezi. But he decides that he's breaking up with Mashezi. But yes, guys, listen. The level of tolerance that these women have for disrespect should be studied. Okay. Whoever is doing research this year, here is a topic, okay? How do these women take so much disrespect? Imagine sitting there with somebody that you think is your man and you're about to become his third wife, and then he says, Haike, let's break up. We are breaking up now in front of the other two women. And then you're like, anyway, us breaking up and coming back together is a normal thing. So I know Uchi Usazubuya or something like that. I'm like, anyway, you guys, I feel like Umashozi is angry at the fact that Utapsila is still part of a relationship. But I don't understand, you guys. Like, what difference does it make? Because at the end of the day, Dulas has many girlfriends anyway. So why does it bother Umashozi that there is Tapsile? Because besides Tapsile, Dulas Vele has intervening from everywhere, and everywhere he's introducing a new one. Like, if it bothers you so much, why are you still in that relationship? That's what I don't get about them. Is that they are still there, but they seem to be so overly upset about what he's doing. Like, if you know your man, you know the kind of man that you have, why are you pretending that you thought this was an honest man? When has he ever been honest to us? So as much I like Mashozi, guys, I really, really like Mashozi, but the whole thing, any drama of being so overly angry at Utulas, I'm like, girl, but you know your man. You know your man. Okay, why are you shocked that he lied to you to say that he broke up with Tapsile when he hadn't broken up with Tapsile? Why are you shocked? Okay, so that's what's happening there, you guys, with Dulas. The next video, I'm going to be talking about what happened in the first part of the reunion, you guys. I've watched a little bit of it and I think that it is quite interesting. So make sure that you don't miss that video. Also, this one, do like it and also share it with your friends, with your family, and even with strangers in Tanda.